Welcome to Module 2, Career Planning. Pretty important stuff here. Let's see what we've got. Well, first of all, we have our first discussion. Yes, indeed. And we're going to discuss something, well, as you click in there, notice it says click Create Thread on the next page to post your comments. Okay, you click, well, let's do it. First discussion. See, nothing there. Click Create Thread. And there's your instructions right there. And it's just like when you introduced yourself. Okay, same thing. All right. Well, let me give you some of my thoughts on, I guess I need to confess my sins right up front here. When I was a college student, I confess, oh, no wonder I can't see. Those are for reading, close up. All right, now I'm ready for action. When I was a college student, there were two things I hated, and one of them was class discussions. The other one was group work. Oh my gosh, the class discussions. The only reason they're in here really is because 15 years ago, when I took over online teaching, the director of online learning practically begged me to have discussions. Here's why. Okay, here's the thing. The ones that required participation. Okay, this is before online learning in my day, but whenever the professor would write down, make a mark somewhere that somebody had said something, all the hands went up. And everybody was spouting off the biggest bunch of nonsense just to say something, so we would mark us down. It's a total waste of time. So I've always kind of, I granted, I'm not one of those who thinks that technology, just because the technology exists, that you have to do it. Okay, technology, everyone thought because technology, oh, look at all the discussions we can have because of online. Oh my, oh my. Just because the technology allows it or provides it for it doesn't mean we have to do it. Doesn't mean it's prudent to do it. When I took over online learning, here's another reason. The guy before me, he was actually a vice president of the college, and he was teaching online classes in the very beginning. And he did virtually nothing but discussions. And it really showed. When I got those students the next semester, I had his students. Apparently, that's all they did. They didn't learn any economics at all. He was busy doing his vice president job. And so he just let the discussions run wild. And so they discussed and discussed and discussed. And guess what? They were experts. They were all experts on each other's opinions. But they didn't learn anything. They didn't know anything. So anyway, true. The extremes. That's an extreme, right? And another extreme would be to not have any discussions. So I'm trying to hit the sweet spot. And yeah, I know discussions don't count all that much for your grade. I just don't think, I think it makes it more fun. I do. I think it makes the class more social. Okay, so I think they're good that way. I don't know how much else they are, but we're going to have a few, maybe every other module. And if you participate at all, I usually give you full credit. So okay, yeah, discussions aren't my thing. I confess. And group work. Oh my goodness. I like my favorite definition of a camel is it's a horse. Wait, let me get this right. Of a horse. Well, anyway, a horse. Let me try it again. A camel is a horse designed by a committee. Okay, that's usually my opinion of group work. Anyway, I know some of you love that stuff. You want to get in here and discuss and discuss and discuss. I just don't think you learn that much when you do that. But anyway, that okay. Thought I'd get that out of the way up front. Moving on. Lectures. Okay, here is a very important one. They're all important, right? To borrow or not to borrow for college. Here's the thing. Not all college majors have equal marketability. Not all college majors have equal earning power. Okay. You have to know that up front. Georgetown University did a study on the economic value of college majors. And you need to look that over carefully, especially when you're deciding on whether or not to borrow to go to college. If you're going to borrow to go to college, you need to get some kind of rate of return. It's an investment in human capital. Anyway, here it is. Well, I'll let you look at it, but some majors just don't do it. Health majors, STEM majors are up here. Arts, humanities down here. And some of them, you don't even, some of them aren't even marketable at all. I mean, you will be working at jobs with people without even college degrees in some cases. So, before you go into a massive amount of debt, you better know what you're doing. An engineering degree, an accounting degree, okay? Pretty prudent financial degree. I'm talking about financial returns here. Now, if you come from a very wealthy family, and if a certain major just really gives you peace and satisfaction, and you aren't going to have to earn a living off of that, okay, fine. I'm talking about an investment in human capital, and some majors just don't provide much of an investment. Now, here is a very sad story of just that, and I want you to read it. Again, Major Matters. Here's a guy who he got a PhD, a doctoral degree in American Studies. American Studies. How marketable is a degree in American Studies? I don't even know completely what that is. I think that's American Studies. Okay, sorry if I don't know what it is, and neither does most employers know what it is. This guy went into horrific amounts of debt, and you can't do that. We've got a student loan crisis on our hands because so many students, when you're offered the money, okay, you don't have to take it all. Or take it and put it in a savings account and pay it right back if you need in reserve, but don't spend it. But because you get free interest if it's a subsidized loan, you get free interest is paid for you until you graduate. But what I'm saying is just because they offer a given amount doesn't mean it's necessarily financially prudent to spend it all. Okay? These are not financial advisors. These are government subsidized programs. And they're just pouring money out like crazy. And too many students are taking the bait and borrowing way more than they need to. And they're graduating with just crushing debt. Watch out. Okay? Watch out. Well, let's go on to homework. Here we go. Tracking your spending. Want you to track your spending for a month, every penny you spend. That is really the first step in a budget. If you want to come up with a budget beforehand, just kind of estimate and then compare it, fine. But this is really where you begin. You got to know where you are to really seriously get things written down and categories, etc. Read this. Find your double latte factor. That's part of your spending assignment. Find your double latte factor. It's a little, it's a few pages, but that's kind of what it's all about. And this has offended a lot of people. I've seen some articles, just highly offended. It's comical. It created a firestorm a while back. But anyway, nevertheless, firestorm or not, it's all true. And listen to this, about 10 minutes. This is very, very entertaining, actually, how the author of this got this going. So that's just something to listen to. Okay, that is it for Module 2. Here's your link to your Revel chapter. Read and complete the questions, quizzes in Chapter 2 is your assignment there. You're good to go. See you in Module 3.